guys, how's it going? Today I'm planting up this really cute wall planter for fall. I'm going to put it on the back of our chicken coop. I think it's going to be really cute. So this is called the Oxford wall planter. It's 18 inches, flat backed, so you can hang it on a wall or a fence. I'll drop a link down below this video if you're interested in checking out any more details about it, but it's got a cocoa fiber liner. But I think this is going to be interesting because this is a shady spot. So to find plants for fall with fall color that give you that, you know, all those fall vibes, it's a little bit trickier. Full sun planters for fall are easy because you can use mums and asters and all those kinds of things. But these are a little harder, and it's a little bit early in the season. So I think I'll show you the spot where I'm going to put it. Then we're going to head down to the garden center and see what we can scrounge up. So this is the spot right here. I love to see planters kind of tucked in unexpected areas. And I know that sometimes you run into a wall space or a fence that's just kind of like unsightly and you can't figure out what you want to put there. I think planters are a really fun solution because then you can add, you know, different colors. You can change up the colors every year. Can you hear my chickens? They think I'm going to come in there and give them some treats. But this area is pretty much shaded all the time. This is an elm tree right here. In fact, we just lost a huge branch out of it yesterday. So this one's probably not going to be here forever shading this area, but we're going to enjoy the shade while we still have it. So now let's head down to the garden center and see what goodies we can find. Okay, we're down here at the garden center. I brought the planter with me so I could size up what things will fit in here the best. Now there are carts of plants right up here on the sidewalk, so I'm going to check these over first and then we'll go into the nursery and see what we can find up there. So it looks like this first cart is full of some gorgeous herbs. There's some sedum, dusty miller. These usually are a full sun plant, but in the fall, since we're not trying to get a full season out of them, we might be able to get away with this. Some really pretty coleus. I always want to put coleus in fall planters because of how beautiful the foliage is, but they do not take a frost. And I always try to put things in that will last the furthest into the season. You can see, look at these. Some beautiful mums and sunflowers right there. Love it. Ooh, I see some stuff. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna need some of this. Got some nice trailing ivy. This is called Glacier. I'm gonna grab 3 of these. Okay. Let's head into the nursery. Ooh. Hold on. That's nice, isn't it? This is a Juncus Spiralis. Anyway, I'm gonna grab this one. So our best bet might be to go into the shade house just because this is where all the shade-loving plants are usually kept. And I'm already seeing some beautiful hostas here that are small enough. So look at this. Sometimes it's hard to find hostas in 4-inch cans because oftentimes, you know, they come in these gallon-sized cans, which this planter, of course, can't handle that. But look at all the beautiful, like, just foliage colors, which might be what I have to rely on. I was kind of hoping to find some pansies. I know that my mom is bringing some in next week. I'm a little bit early. Pansies are really great. Pansies or violas in a shady spot, they'll still provide you with a lot of color, even though they're not getting a lot of sun. So it's something where I could probably pop a couple in later on, but I may just kind of use foliage colors and just have that sort of look to this container. You never know. Grab a couple of these. Heucheras. Heucheras are wonderful to use in fall containers. I have some of the beautiful cherry truffles in my greenhouse, but they are huge. I also think I've got some appletini in there, but they're also huge. All the stuff that I have, I mean, one plant would fill this whole container, which you could absolutely do that if you wanted to, but I was kind of on the hunt for more of this size of thing. So I'm gonna grab a couple of these as well, because that's a really pretty fall tone. Japanese forest grass is really pretty. That's tempting. There's some hellebores, also too big. Okay, I think we need to head to the greenhouse. I'm finding other things that I need to have in our garden. Oh, a little update on the veg pod. Sorry. Everything's looking pretty good. Garden gem tomatoes is kind of spread out. Some strawberries there. Marigolds are looking nice and bright. Very fun. Okay, what have we got in here? I'm gonna set this down for a second. It's pretty cleared out in the greenhouse at this point. There's some herbs and things left. I think what we should do is go set up. I think I'm just gonna pot it while we're here. We'll go get set up and get this all planted up and then we'll take it home. Oh, this is kind of perfect. I think every garden center should have a place for people to come bring their pots. where they can set up and then just like go shop out in the nursery and try different things out. Wouldn't that be fun? Where you just like can take your time and look at all the options, because I think that's where it gets overwhelming, because you don't know what to buy exactly. You think like, well, should I buy way too many things and then make sure that I've got enough on hand, or should I try to just, I don't know. I think it would be a good idea. All right, so now let's head up and get some soil and fertilizer. Grab some flower tone fertilizer. I think it's so cute. My parents know we work with Espoma, so they set up this whole like Espoma section. I love it. All right, grab my scissors to get my bag open here. Okay, so now with the flower tone, you're supposed to add in 2 cups per cubic foot of soil, which this bag right here is 1 cubic foot, and I didn't use very much, so I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit in there and then mix it up. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my Juncus here. That is just such a unique looking grass. I love it. And as I was making all of my decisions here, I had to like consider that I have a white wall. So I want to make sure that everything that I use, like I couldn't use really plants that have white blooms on them, like white pansies, which I do love, because those would not show up. So I think everything's going to show up really nicely. Okay, we'll start with that. Plus, I don't really want to cover this either, because I think that's part of the charm of the planter. And then we'll use, I think, our couple of Heucheras on either side. So what did I say these were? Crisp peach Heuchera. Okay, so maybe one of the Heucheras, or the, sorry, hostas, right up front. Let's see. Now this one's Fire Island. It actually grows 14 inches tall by 30 inches wide. Not this fall, of course. But this one I can pop out, as well as the Heucheras. And this Juncus is a zone 5. So all of these are perennials so far, which means I can use them again in the garden. Okay, now my ivy. Okay, let's see. I want this to drape more. There's ivy right here. That's like too big. Wonder what that stuff's doing back here. So I put my ivy, of course, toward the front because it will spill out like it already is doing right there. I think I might need one more though. I love finding plants in these 2 1/4 inch size cans because it makes it very easy to tuck them in. Now, if these were gonna be in here all season, I could probably just put one on either side and it would grow big enough. But our nights are gonna start to cool down here pretty soon and we won't have as much time, and I really want to see that kind of growth on this basket. So I think 4 will work. I gotta go grab some. I really want to find a reason to tuck in one of those Dusty Millers. I want to find a spot. We'll see. I feel like I can almost fit 2 of these in here. There's one. Let me try the second one. Yeah. Removing a little bit of the soil. I got a little too much in there. I didn't realize to be putting this many plants in. I should always know better. So that looks really sweet, doesn't it? Even better once it's on a white wall, I think. I think we're done. And honestly, like I just used foliage here to make this planter really beautiful. And there's something about that that I really love because it's very understated. And it really, I don't know, it looks like a lot of thought went into planters like that, you know, because you really have to study all the different textures. They really show up because they're all so different, as opposed to when you have a lot of color. I mean, it's gorgeous, but it's a little bit more like obvious. I don't know a different way to explain it, but I think that this is really pretty. You could though, there is a little room like in here where you could tuck a couple little pansies once they're available. For fall, you could tuck a little bit of color in there if you wanted to, or you could just let this planter do its thing. So I'm gonna clean up my mess and put these Dusty Millers back, which I did not use. And you know, hindsight, they may not have shown up against a white wall that well. But we'll clean up and then we'll take this back home. Okay, so before I hang this on the wall, I wanted to give you guys a close-up because I don't think Aaron's gonna be able to get very close because there's so many plants in the way. But I think it turned out really pretty, and every single one of these is hardy enough in our zone 5 climate to come back next year. They're all perennial, which means I can either take this down and winter over in our greenhouse. I don't think that this reservoir is big enough to winter them outside safely. I think it's a little risky. Or I can pop them all out and plant them in the landscape. So it's kind of nice. It's a little bit of a bonus. Oh, and one more thing too. When I was planting it, I kind of thought there was something different about this cocoa fiber. It sounded like crinkly. So I looked up on the website because I thought there's like some kind of plastic or something. Like, this is different than any other cocoa fiber I've ever used. And there is a recycled plastic layer in the middle of this cocoa fiber liner. It's called AquaSave, and it helps retain water and fertilizer. It's not watertight, like it'll still let water drain, but it helps a lot with like drying out problems, because I know a lot of people have problems with their cocoa fiber liners, like, you know, the root systems, all the soil dries out really, really fast unless you get really thick cocoa fiber. And it also protects the surface that you put it on. So I thought that was kind of neat, something different anyway. So now I'm gonna gently try to get back here without trampling anything. And we'll see how this looks. Okay, I'm gonna stand back. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, I really like that. Every once in a while, I do something out in the garden that I'm like, dang, why didn't I think to do that sooner? And this is one of them. I think that looks really sweet, and it's just tucked in back there, just a little bit more interest. Perfect. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to show you this, an option for like some fall interest in a container for shade, and then also an option that you can do for wall space or fences or something that you're just not sure, it's blank, you're not sure what to put there. Something like this, or even like 2 or 3 of them, would be really pretty all together. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.